You'll hear people say, I hope it doesn't take somebody getting killed. Well, we are past that point in Denver's East Colfax neighborhood, where there has been one bad crash after another. The latest killed somebody yesterday. Steve Stager's along now, and Steve, you talked with a neighbor who's pretty frustrated about this. Others are too, and it points at how difficult it can be to call attention to problem spots in our streets.
Yeah, Matt Pierce sent a long, angry email to Denver's traffic division this morning, and he CC'd us on that email. He says he has lived in his house on Syracuse between 13th and 14th for 7 years, and he says he's witnessed too many crashes in that area to count. So we decided to count. A quick analysis of Denver's traffic crash data shows 72 crashes in the last 9 years at the intersections of 13th and Syracuse and 14th and Syracuse. 5 people have been seriously injured in those crashes, and yesterday police say a driver blew through a red light at Syracuse and 14th, T-boning another vehicle, killing a passenger in that car. Matt Pierce has a collection of pictures on his phone of crashes that he has witnessed there. He and his neighbors have emailed the city warning of drivers blowing through red lights and speeding all the time, causing wrecks that are hard to forget, wrecks that are traumatic not only to the people involved, but the neighbors who witness them, who become de facto first responders.
We've pulled unconscious people out of cars. We've had a lot of cars flipped upside down. A lot of the fences around here and the light poles and the traffic poles have all been destroyed and replaced multiple times. And yesterday the fatality was the worst I've seen.
Now, what are the major issues in that area? 13th and 14th. They are 2 lanes wide and one way, with Syracuse being one of the first traffic lights you see in a while. There's an overhaul planned along those roads to try to calm traffic using curb bump outs for pedestrian paint and some posts there, hopefully to try to get drivers to slow down. It's only 30 miles an hour there. And since there's been a death in that crash yesterday, the city will now review the police report, then send out a team to look at potential short-term and long-term fixes. I asked what people should do if they find themselves in a situation like Matt and his neighbors, where they know that there is a problem. How do you get their attention? The city simply suggests call 311.
Oh, good luck with that. Is the fatality review an automatic thing? If there's a fatality, then they review that area, or
yes, that is part of Vision Zero now. So part of the city's plan to end all traffic deaths by the year 2030. They now go to the scene. They send a team to the scene of every traffic death in the city to look at it and see if there's anything they can do in the short term, potentially plan for in the long term. You might see if someone dies on, say, Colfax, you might see that area with a little bump out and maybe some posts in the road to try to give pedestrians an easier way to cross, or somewhere where they might be able to calm the traffic down, get those speeds down, because on a lot of these roadways where you have really wide streets, there's just this tendency for drivers to go fast.
Yeah, I think that they can open it up. You don't often think about the trauma that inflicts on a neighborhood if they're coming out and seeing crashes and seeing people hurt again and again. Matt's perspective is really interesting.
He says he and his friends were in their backyard celebrating Easter, and then they just heard what sounded like an explosion, and then his wife saw the person inside the car, something she'll never forget.
All right. Thank you, Steve.